Okay, this is find the slope of the line passing through the given point. So first it's important you know your slope formula. So slope is represented by m, and it's just where you subtract your y's and you subtract your x's. Your y's go on top, x's go on bottom. You just have to remember that whatever y is here, the corresponding x has to be under it. So the order, the only time order really matters, you can put this one over here, it doesn't matter, but whatever y and x go together, they have to be on top of each other. Okay? So this one is graph and it gives us our points. So I'm just going to take my y's and subtract them, and I'm going to subtract my x's in the same order. So I got -6 minus 3, because those are my y's. My x's are first, so -1 minus 2. And if you look, -6 goes with -1, they're on top and bottom of each other, and then 3 and 2 go together and they're on top and bottom of each other. So -6 minus 3 is -9. -1 minus 2 is -3, and if you simplify that, you get +3 for your slope. So on 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, those are all the same length. I just did number 3. This was number 3, sorry. This was number 3, this is number 1, so let's do number 1. Okay, number 1. So here's my x and y. So I'm going to subtract my y's, so I can do 4 minus 2, subtract my x's in the same order. -4 minus -1. 4 minus 2 is 2. -4 minus -1 is -3. So I have -2/3. Okay, and that's how you do 1 through 5. Graph each line. Remember, this is your y-intercept, and your y-intercept means where it crosses the y-axis. This is your slope, and remember, your slope is also represented by rise over run. If there's no number on bottom, draw a fraction bar, put a 1 under it. So I'm going to start with my y-intercept, 4. Means I'm going to go up to 4 on my y-axis and put a dot. Then my rise over run. So I'm going to go up. I lied on number 6. I'm sorry, I forgot the minus sign, ignore me. So I'm going to go down to -4, put a dot. Then I'm going to rise 3. That's a -4, so it's a -4. Sorry. And I'm going to rise 3, run 1. So I'm going to rise 1, 2, 3, and run 1. I'm going to rise 1, 2, 3, and run 1. Remember, this has to be positive because that's a positive slope. So a positive slope is like you're going uphill, moving left to right. So this is a positive slope line. So since I messed that one up, let's graph another one. So we can graph this one like this. This is in point slope form. It's understood to be a 1 there, so that's my slope. I'm going to show you 2 ways to graph it. So first, my point slope form is y minus y1 equals my slope times x minus x1, where y1 and x1, that's your ordered pair. Okay, so if it's a negative here and there's a negative there, that really means that's a +2. So I would go +2y. That would be my ordered pair. Since that's a plus sign and that's a minus sign, that has to be a -3. Okay, so I can go -3, +2, put a dot. And then my slope is 1 over 1. That's my rise over run. So I can rise 1, run 1. Or I can go negative, negative, because remember, 2 negatives make a positive. So down and to the left is negative. And I'm going to graph it. Okay, or I can change this to y equals mx plus b form if I want to. So if I change it to y equals mx plus b form, I had y minus 2 equals x plus 3. Okay, so I would solve for y by adding 2. So y equals x plus 5 So this is in slope-intercept form now, y equals mx plus b. My slope is still 1, so I can go up to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, put my dot. And I can rise 1, run 1. Or I can go negative, negative. That's still going to make that positive 1 slope. And see, it's on the same line, so you can graph either way. Okay, it says use the information to write an equation for each line. Okay, so number 9, slope 6, y-intercept 4. Well, I'm going to put it in this form, slope-intercept form. So if I know my slope, I just fill that in for M. And I know my y-intercept, so I just fill that in for B. Same thing on that one. Okay, this one, number 11, it just gives you 2 points. So we've got to find the slope, and we're going to write it in slope-intercept form. Okay, so number 11, my point is 4, 4, and 1, 2. So I'm going to write that 4, 4, and 1, 2. So first step, I'm going to find the slope. So step number 1, you have to find your slope. Okay, so I have y minus y over x minus x. So I have 2 over 3. And that's my slope. After you find your slope, you're going to plug in points. Okay, so I got y minus y1 is 4 equals my slope times x minus x1, and x1 is 4. Okay, and if I tell you to write it in point slope form, like so this is point slope form, and you want to leave it like this, I'm going to ask you to write both equations. So you can also have y minus 2 equals your slope times x minus 1, because you can use either point for point slope form. So this is point slope form. So if I ask you to write in point slope form, this is what it looks like. This is slope intercept form. So if I ask you to write in slope intercept form, that's what it will look like. And that's how you do that section. So 9 and 10, definitely slope intercept form. 11, 12, 13, and 14, you can choose right now, but on your test, I'll specify. Okay, so for graphing, it says y equals -4. That means I'm going to go to -4 on my y-axis, put a point, and it's going to be the line that only goes through -4 on my y-axis. So that's what it's going to look like. X equals 3 means I'm going over to 3 on my x-axis, putting a point. And it's going to be a line that only goes through 3 on the x. Okay, so write each equation in slope-intercept form. So I'm changing from point slope to y-intercept. So if I look at number 19, I have y minus 3 equals 4 times x plus 2. And I want to write that in slope-intercept form. It's currently in point slope. I got to distribute that 4. So I would have 4x plus 12. Then I've got to add that 3, because I want y by itself. And remember, we only add the 3 here because those aren't like terms. And that's how you do 20 and 21. Okay, 23 and 24, it says graph each pair of lines. And then write their intersection. So y equals -5 means I'm going down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, putting a dot. Came off that line some. And then x equals -2, 1, 2, putting a dot, and then it goes through it. You don't have to put the dot, I just do so I know. And then we're gonna see where it intersects, and this is where it intersects, and that is at point -2 down -5.